Hello everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nagla and I am on the edge of completing my doctoral journey. Before starting my PhD, I spent several years as an English instructor at Saudi Electronic University, and I'm here today to take you on my research journey. Let's picture this: a classroom filled with EFL students, each striving to express themselves through the written word. The question that really drives my research is simple but profound. How can we empower these students to not just write, but to write with purpose and meaning? Today, we are going to explore the meaningful writing with a particular focus on the subject theme. In this presentation, I will cover several aspects of my project. First, I will provide an overview of current issues in EFL students' academic writing and explain my approach and goals. Next, I will delve into the concept of thematized noun phrase and its significance. We will also discuss existing literature on the subject theme, and following that, I will explain the data collection process and explore the adopted scheme and its development, and finally, the key results. Let's start by addressing the current challenges in EFL writing or EFL student writing and how our study respond to them. EFL students often struggle to write meaningfully, making it essential to study elements like the subject theme. So furthermore, research in this area is limited regarding the advanced EFL context like in Saudi Arabia. So our study aims to explore students' choices in constructing text and how these choices evolve through the editing process. In this study, a thematized noun phrase is a combined term that encompasses both the thematic aspect and the noun phrase. When referring to a noun phrase, we are essentially discussing a noun phrase that serves as the theme in a clause. In this combined term, we are highlighting the role of themes in conveying the meaning and the role of noun phrase structure in the complexity of sentences. So in this study, the theme encompasses everything that comes up to the grammatical subject of the sentence, and we can say that the concept of thematized noun phrase is particularly relevant in linguistic analysis when studying how language is structured and how information is conveyed in sentences. Let's now move to the literature review part. The literature review explores differences between spoken and written registers and the choices made by speakers and writers to convey meaning. Bayes' work distinguishes between informal spoken English and formal written English, categorizing themes into interactional and informational. This differentiation is crucial for understanding how writers construct meaning. Research on advanced EFL students' use of the subject themes falls into two categories: cross-sectional studies and high versus low rated text comparisons. While advanced students may use subject theme more frequently, their proficiency doesn't depend on this factor. Quality of writing, including effective element selection, is very essential in this case. Writing revision, especially across multiple drafts, is a method with limited research in investigating subject theme use. Revising drafts can lead to more effective writing as students tap into linguistic and cognitive resources. So this process enables conscious choices in final versions, improving overall text quality. EFL students, including Saudi and in general Arab students, face challenges in developing their writing skills, often overusing personal pronouns, and produce repetitive and oral writing styles. Addressing referential relationship difficulties is crucial for improving their academic writing. For data collection and methodology, data was collected from the Department of English Language and Translation at Saudi Electronic University. The data consisted of proposal papers written by year 4 students, which is the final year of a typical undergrad degree in Saudi Arabia. A total of 38 student groups worked collectively to produce proposal paper related to their studies in English language and translation. And the dataset comprised 108 documents encompassing all drafts produced during this assignment. The assignment is based on multiple revised drafts, namely background context draft and literature review draft. These drafts were subsequently combined to create a final version, which incorporated the final version of both the background context and the literature review section as well. So the frequency of all thematized noun phrase in the data were analyzed in the background draft, the literature review, and then the final version. Each of these drafts is compared with the same section in the final version, and data was saved and annotated by using the UAM corpus tool. So after this, we will explore the categories of thematized noun phrase that were applied to this data. Here is a review of Bayes' network and the categorization of the subject theme. Bayes' network classifies subject theme into two main categories: content light and content full. Content light includes neither topics, which refer to entities not related to the discourse, empty topics such as there and at, and given topics containing third person pronoun. On the other hand, content full themes encompasses two types: resumed and new. Bayes categorized neither and empty topics as interactional topics, while given, resumed, and new topics are considered informational topics based on their weight and what they refer to in discourse. The present study extends the existing framework of understanding the subject theme in the field. In my study here, I drew inspiration from Bayes' framework of the referential network of the subject theme, but in this study, I extend Bayes' work by incorporating features of Martin participant identification system. This combination allowed for more comprehensive analysis of the choices made in the subject theme. By doing so, first, I introduced a new midweight category to the original Bayes categories light and heavy content to provide a more refined classification of the subject theme based on their content and where they refer to in discourse. For example, the third personal pronoun in Bayes' light category was transformed to be in the midweight category because it's informational and have antecedents in discourse. This extension provides a more accurate more accurate assessment of subject theme in terms of their information content and serve as a bridge between light and heavy categories. The rationale of this decision is that in Martin's system, all resuming participant entities for Martin include all personal pronoun and other noun phrase entities, with antecedents, of course, in text. So we will also discuss other types in this category which are similar to personal pronouns, such as demonstrative, the demonstrative pronouns like this and that. I also expand the analysis by considering the noun phrase structure and its complexity by coding head nouns and lexical nouns. Let's now talk about each of these categories in more details. So the first category is lightweight themes, can be categorized into three types: neither, interactional, and abstract. These themes typically carry minimal content weight and are often linked to topics that either have little relevance to the overall discourse or lack clear references within the text. So here, in midweight topics or in midweight subject themes also can be further classified into three subcategories, which encompass textual topics, unattended demonstrative pronouns, and elliptic topics. These themes carry slightly more content weight compared to light themes. For instance, what third-person pronoun may seem simple, they have antecedents in the discourse, providing them with greater contextual weight. We can see the same function for the unattended demonstrative pronouns when using this and that without a following noun. The elliptic themes are also recoverable from the conjoined previous clause as well. The last category here is heavyweight theme, which consists of informative thematized noun phrase, which are further categorized into resumed and new topic. Resumed topic here refer to entities that are previously mentioned in the discourse and play a role in advancing the discourse development. These resumed topics can be further divided into subtypes like bridging, for example, inferable, repetition, reclassification, summarizing noun, and nominalization. For new topics, we can see here three different types of new topics. We have new homophoric topics, new anchored, and new presenting. New homophoric topic defined as the new topics that may not be entirely new to readers' memory due to shared knowledge or due to shared cultural knowledge. This category helps identify topics with a shared cultural context. The new anchored topics are those newly introduced to the discourse but anchored to a related context within the text, creating a connection for readers. And finally, new presenting topics are those are entirely new to the discourse as defined by Martin, which is a first mentioned entity. The noun phrase analysis scheme lines up with the subject theme scheme, allowing for mapping of semantic categories. It categorizes a noun phrase based on their form and component, including head nouns, pronouns, proper nouns, common nouns, and empty nouns, as well as the lexical noun phrase with or without determiners and with or without modifiers as well. As mentioned earlier, the study compares the draft to the final version. In general, the findings reveal that heavy thematized noun phrase occurred most frequently across all drafts. However, it emerged that students relied heavily on using thematized noun phrase without any modification, or a thematized noun phrase with only determiners across all drafts. This suggests that the students produce text with low frequencies of complex structures, and on average, each thematized noun phrase consists of only 2 words. As we go deeper in the analysis of the category, the study found that there were some key findings occur when comparing the literature review draft versus the literature review final version. So these key findings are found in the repetition use, the use of pronouns, and the use of proper nouns between the two, between the draft and the final version, which what I'm going to talk about next. Okay, so in details, when comparing the literature review draft and the LR final version, with particular emphasis on the types of resumed topics, it revealed that there was a significant increase in repetition in the final version. A statistical analysis using a chi-square test demonstrates this interaction. This finding might challenge some traditional assumption that revisions should lead to more accurate choices. We can see here clearly the increase of using repetition in the final version compared to the LR draft. When comparing the differences in the noun phrase expressions between the literature review draft and the literature review final version, first it was found that pronouns were decreased significantly in the final version, which is a good sign, which might be a good sign really for effective revision. Another important finding showed that the use of proper noun was increased significantly in the final version. The study suggests that this increase of proper nouns was due to that students are likely to choose the names of authors to initiate their sentences rather than using choices to report the topic itself. It also might affect, this increase also might be a reason for the increase of repeated topics in the data. Implication is a very big part of this study. In summary, introducing the concept of thematized noun phrase to ESL or EFL curricula can have a far-reaching impact, not only on students' writing and communication skills, but also in their overall language proficiency and cultural awareness. It might require adjustment in teaching methodologies, assessments, and curriculum design to effectively integrate thematized noun phrase into the educational system. Incorporating thematized noun phrase into the curriculum equips students with invaluable linguistic tools to success in academia, professions, and personal growth as well. It fosters not only language proficiency, but also critical thinking, cultural awareness, and confidence in effective communication. Okay, so here is a summary of my presentation today. I have discussed the current issues and the study's aim. I talked about some important features of the subject theme in the literature. I presented my data collection and the developed framework. Finally, I presented the key findings of this study and some important implication. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and thank you for listening. And if you have some questions, I am here.